We continue with our rolling coverage from Nasrec, the ANC conference, and we're coming towards the pinnacle, the culmination, which we're all waiting for, the voting process, and then obviously after that, the results. We have with us at our studios here of Radio Islam and the media square of the conference. So we have Faiez Jacobs, who is the Member of Parliament for Athlone in the Western Cape and also a nominee for the NEC. Faiez, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the airwaves of Radio Islam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran Mufti for having me, and to all the listeners and viewers of Radio Islam. It's indeed a big honor for me to be on the show.
We're happy to see you here. We've spoken to you in the past, and to meet you in person, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've now spent a couple of days, in Gauteng in the lead up and the actual conference, and we're already on day 3 of the conference. How has things been?
It's been tough. I told my family I had to take my vitamin B injection, and I don't do the power stuff, but I drink water. And we had a late night last night. We went to bed about past 4. Nominations closed. I always say to the delegates, it's a hurry up and wait situation because it's such a big thing. It's a gathering, a festival of all the people of South Africa. So there's about 4,500 branch delegates representing each branches, and each branch has more than 100 members in the area. So I'm honored to be part of the provincial leadership of the ANC. I've been the former provincial secretary of the ANC in the Western Cape for 5 years. As a Muslim, I've had 30 years of experience as an activist, community worker, student activist, and now also in the ANC. So I've earned my time, and I've also tried to encourage people, especially our delegation. We're bringing about 300 delegates from the Western Cape. Our mandate is to ensure that things get happening for especially the minorities, the Muslims, the colored communities, whites. We want to ensure that all South Africans see themselves in the ANC. And the ANC mustn't just be an African, because I'm also an African person. I have identity as an African, as a Muslim, as a colored, and also a lover of Liverpool for that sake. So that's the type of identities that we have. So it's been tough. We finished last night. We have the ballot of the top 7.
What happened last night?
Okay, so all the branches, it was open and branches nominated. The election commission explained the rules. It was an open session, so people could see. People were nominating. People were getting excited. Some you had to get a threshold from the floor. But you know what I learned from the session is that it is really just an unmediated space where the will of the branches, the representatives coming through. So we had 2 candidates from small provinces like our province, Western Cape, and Northern Cape, also coming on to the Deputy General Secretary position. So, I mean, for me, our position is clear. We're supporting President Ramaphosa for a second term. We believe that we need continuity, we need stability, and we need the continuation of renewal in the ANC. We went through a difficult period. We're not yet out of the woods yet, but we're seeing that green shoots. And so we need a team around President Ramaphosa, a team that can manage the complexities of South Africa's problems. We have energy problems, we have water problems, we have infrastructure problems, we have an economy that's not growing, and we have greed.
Many have the idea that things are working better in the Western Cape.
No, that's a fallacy. Look, if you're rich, then it's nice to live in Cape Town, because the DA is not an alternative to the ANC. Yes, the ANC's got lots of problems, and we are the first to admit it. But the DA doesn't represent alternative. They don't care for our people. They don't care. They only care for a certain group. They want to maintain privilege, especially white privilege. They're anti-transformative. They want to ensure that the economy is in the hands of the small. And they also have the same problems that we have of malfeasance, of corruptions, of job for pals. They reserve jobs there for white males. I promise you, there's no competent Muslims or colored women in Cape Town that can take their jobs. You have to be white too, and they have this theory, the supremacy theory of white is right. So it's not the case. We have a lot of townships, we have a lot of areas on the Cape Flats that's not being serviced by the DA. They blame national government. Look, I'm not here to talk about the DA. I'm here to talk about the ANC.
Okay, so you said there's 300 from the Western Cape. What's the makeup of that? Is it a cross-spectrum, different denominations?
Yes, indeed. So
how many Muslims in that delegation?
So we have a good Muslim delegation. I mean, all our townships are represented. So Athlone is well represented, Mitchell's Plain, northern suburbs, our townships, rural areas. So we have a mengelmoes. We have a true representation. I think we have about probably 10 Muslims. We have a big rural delegation. We have our African brothers. We have our African sisters. That's how it should be. The ANC belongs to all South African people. And so I want to encourage Muslims to find your home, and the ANC must open up. That's why I'm advocating as a Muslim that part of my legacy must be that, yes, we want to see our own leaders in the ANC, and more importantly, the ANC must open up its house, because we need all hands on deck. If the ANC is the instrument of our people, all South Africans must see themselves in the ANC, and the ANC under the leadership of Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, we must be able to start dealing with the problems. We need political will. We need, it's not that we don't have resources. We need decisive leadership that can prioritize the issues of our people.
Were there any surprises that came to the fore during the nomination process? Names that people did not know of, people did not expect it. There was obviously, the names that were being discussed beforehand for each of the 6 or 7 positions now. And on that list, was there any that caught your attention that you never expected to see on that list?
Look, the branches have spoken. So there was this big nomination. So what would happen before we got here? A branch in Mitchell's Plain, let me say Lentif here, their ANC delegates would come together. They needed a quorum of 100 people. Then they had to discuss the criteria for leadership, and then they put their names down. So that represented, let me say Sabik, because there is actually a delegate called Sabik. He's from Eastridge. He's representing his constituency from Mitchell's Plain. So they then said, okay, these are the names that they think should be on the list. So then there was a big tally, and all the names came up. So by and large, the majority of people supported and gave confidence to the president. I think now you'll see different groupings. The big guys like KZN, Gauteng, Limpopo, they obviously want to see their representation in. And so there has been a bit of horse trading. There's actually been also the democracy, the internal democracy is noisy, is loud, is chaotic. But that's just the nature of things. You don't get everything, and we need consensus. We need to play by the rules. We need to understand the rules of the game, and there's also a give and take.
Consensus may be difficult to get. I suppose you've got to just find the middle ground and appease everyone.
No, indeed. I mean, you see, you have to manage all the conflicts of race, of ethnicity, of tribalism. So the ANC is a broad church. We're saying we don't want people to be mobilized on tribe or religious basis, but you see strong Zulu unity. You see different ethnic groups vying for their position, and so why can't we in the Western Cape, which has a local minority, a national minority, but a local majority in the form of colours? So there is that things that we are part of that broad church, this broad home for all that we need to pull through, and it is a bit of horse trading, so that will still happen. But now the votes are coming, the ballot has been printed. The next step now is for us to wait when the elections will start. People will go in, elect their preferred candidates, and we will all respect the outcome of this. But I think that's the appeal that I'm making to delegates. Let's choose the best amongst us.
The best amongst the worst.
No, I think we have good candidates there. Yes, there has been candidates that are, let me say, we wanted the better. But that's the nature of this that we have. That if you want to influence the ANC, I always say, be part of that family. Be part, because it's also about what do you bring, what do you take. If you're not an ANC member, how can you influence it? And so that's the appeal that I'm making. I've been consistently an ANC card-carrying member for the last 20, 30 odd years. And we've got a lot right for our people. You look at our policies, and I will continue to fight for all our people, including our Muslim, including our colored, including all the minorities.
You know, as you say, 20, 30 years you're carrying that card. The previous conference was obviously at Nasrec and then Mangaung and then Polokwane. Were you at any of those previous ones, and was it any way different from today?
I was at the previous ones, and they are qualitative and quantitatively different. You see, there's a lot of competing interests coming in now. Money has crept in, resource, vote buying have crept in. Big power brokers have tried to derail the agenda. And also this notion of personality politics, where I'm the focus. Instead of the issues and the people, it becomes about Faiez. It shouldn't be like that. It should be Faiez must be the servant of our people. Faiez must, you must only discriminate on Faiz's capability based on, does he have a track record of working with the people, and does he have a clean record? Is his hands clean? Is he ethnically driven? Is he based on sound principles? So that's the drive that we're pulling through. I find a lot of the reason why I'm in politics is because of my faith. It's because of my belief. It's because of our foundations that we need to do good for our common humanity. And so I find that expression in the ANC. And we want to encourage leaders, even young people. I am one of those leaders that actually want, we need to multiply the likes of Dalla Omar and the old generation of Mandela, so that ethos can come through. And it's still a long way to go. But you see the green shoots. If the ANC gets better, if the ANC improves, if the ANC unites, you can see the automatic benefits for our entire country.
It's been a pleasure chatting to you. Shukran for coming to us and chatting to us, and we will continue chatting to you through the next days and also when the results are released. We know you have other commitments. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.